Okay guys, now that FL finally loaded up, I'm going to be showing you guys how I sampled a voice note to get the Drake effect. You know how in some songs they'll put a voice note or maybe a phone call in like typically like emotional songs to, just spice it up and yeah, make it just more like give it more of an R&B vibe, give it more of a love kind of vibe. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. And let me first show you the end result. This is what it turned out like. I just really like guys that pay attention to every little detail. Like they know when you're okay, when you're not okay, when you're lying. They know like how to really talk and communicate to you about everything. Guys that take control, just things like that. I don't have anything particular but those two things. And it's just so hard to find sometimes. And then I really love that I could throw guys what they want. So I don't know why I even feel cool. So you get the vibe. That's what it sounds like with effects and everything. So I'm gonna show you how I did it. So cool. So first of all, the voice note is a real voice note that I got sent by someone. She sent me the voice note. We're just having a regular conversation, and I thought this would sound cool like on a beat. So I kept it in mind and I screen recorded the voice note for a later date. So this was time ago. This was months ago, and yeah, I didn't use it for a while. And then I made this beat, and then I was like, and then it clicked in my brain. Oh, this is the perfect sample for this type of beat. So boom. So what you want to do is you want to screen record the voice note. Now you got the voice note as a video on your phone. You email that to yourself, and then cool. You open up your email, take that video recording, that screen recording, and you go to this website. Just type M4A to MP3. There's plenty of websites that convert, these kind of files. So it's gonna convert your this is the website I use. It's gonna convert your screen recording / video file. It's gonna convert it to MP3, and then it's gonna take you to the download section. And once you got that downloaded, you just drag and drop it into FL. That's what I did, nothing fancy. Just drag and drop the downloaded file into FL. It's going to be in your download section. And cool, so this is what it sounds like without any effects. I'm going to play you the voice note without any effects at all. This is what it sounds like raw.
I just really like guys that pay attention to every little detail. Like they know when you're okay, when you're not okay, when you're lying. They know like how to really talk and communicate to you about everything. Um, Guys that take control, just things like that.
Cool, so you get the gist. That's how it sounds, raw, no effects, nothing, and it sounds pretty good. Like, just got a nice voice. Yeah, she got a nice voice. Cool. So, so to get the effect that I wanted, what I did was, so the beat was already like giving an underwater vibe, like underwater reggaeton kind of vibe, like emotional. Like this is the beat on its own. Like some Bad Bunny shit. Yeah, some Bad Bunny shit. So yeah, like underwater, kind of like emotional, like lovey-dovey kind of vibe. Yeah, so cool. So what I wanted to continue along with that vibe, so I first added an EQ, and I didn't do the EQ myself. I just went to the preset and clicked radio. So this is the radio preset, and with the EQ it sounds like this.
Just things like that. I don't have anything particular, but those.
Yeah, took out a lot of the lows, some of the highs. But the original cut was too harsh, so I turned the mix level down to like 70%, as you can see, 69%. Yeah, I turned the mix level down because the original cut was too harsh. It sounded too radio-ish. I still wanted to sound kind of like, I wanted to sound like a phone call, but not too like crackling and drowned out, basically. And then I added this plugin by Ocean. I rate this plugin so much, called Elements. Yeah, and then on top of that, it sounds like this.
And it's just so hard to find sometimes.
So I added the Spaceman preset. I added the Spaceman preset, which gives it like a more reverb, a little bit of delay, and just like a wider sound overall, and then a little bit of like saturation. So so same thing with that. I lowered the mix level to 83% because I didn't want it, because all the way sometimes the effect is too harsh, so you can turn it down a little bit. And then from there, I'm not gonna lie, I think I added a stereo enhancer to make it like to make the vocal wider, as in to not make it so mono, to make it more stereo, so it sounds like, yeah, a little bit wider, like it's in more in the left ear. So yeah, I added the stereo enhancer, and I just, all I did was click left because it sounded good to me. Sometimes it doesn't have to make sense, but I didn't tweak any other knobs. I just clicked left. I was just clicking through, and left sounded good to me.
I just really like guys that pay attention to every little
Yeah, left.
detail.
It sounds like it's a phone call coming from one side. You're on the phone. Da da da. So, and then I added a compressor because the highs and lows of the sample were all over the place. Some parts were kind of quiet, some parts are very loud, and I wanted to equalize it. And so I added a compressor to do that. And then after that, I added fruity limiter, brick wall limiter, to make sure the high. And then I brought down the gain because the parts that were too high were too high. So I added a brick wall limiter, turned down the gain a little bit to bring down the harshness of the highs. And then after that, might be a bit unnecessary, but I added another EQ after that. I added another EQ after that because I forgot to do it earlier. I forgot to take out the lows. So yeah, I just took out the lows because not necessary. I don't want it to create any unnecessary like muddiness or clash with any other sounds. So I took out the lows, and then this section was this frequency was a bit harsh. I think it was like the S. When you're recording vocals, the S's can be quite harsh. So I took out that, and then I took out some of the high highs because again, it was sounding a bit harsh, but nothing too major. And then I was just playing around. I was just playing around with this equalizer here because it's a extra equalizer. Why not? And then when I boosted the mids a bit, the body of it, the sample just sounded more fuller. So it sounded good to me. And then this was the end result.
I just really like guys that pay attention to every little detail. Like they know when you're okay, when you're not okay, when you're lying. They know like how to really talk and communicate to you about everything. Guys that take control. It's just things like that. I don't have anything particular but those few things. And it's just so hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, no, that sounded good to me. It sounded perfect. So I was like, boom, that's the beat right there. And yeah, man. And this is how it sounds all together.
I just really like guys that pay attention to every little detail. Like they know when you're okay, when you're not okay, when you're lying. They know like how to really talk and communicate to you about everything. Guys that take control. It's just things like that. I don't have anything particular but those two things. And it's just so hard to find sometimes. And then I really love that I could go there and that's what they want. I don't know why I even feel like I don't know why I gotta do this guys. Because they have just each of it, I guess.
full on reggaeton vibe. Yeah, so the vocal sample, I'll probably end it like over here when she says, "I just like guys that know what they want." That sounds good to me. Off everything afterwards, kind of a bit much. And then I'll probably take this little click at the end because it sounds like when a phone's dropping. I'll probably take that and then add that to the end of that. But yeah, very cool stuff. I'm gonna drop the full beat at some point. If anyone wants the beat, let me know. And yeah, what's it? Drop a thumbs up. Follow for more breakdowns, for more tutorials how to do this kind of stuff. These cool kind of effects and stuff. And yeah, this one was a full circle moment because I've been sitting on this voice note. I forgot about it for maybe like a good 5-6 months, and I just made a beat and I was like, it just clicked. I was like, this is the beat it's for, because I wasn't trying to force it into another one. So yeah, it just made sense and sounds fire, and this will be a great track. So hopefully it becomes something, or it will become something. Let's go. Cool. So in a bit, guys. Take care. Yes, sir.